Now we get to see how to build a new language from a reference language using Joomla and KMFasTrans. With KMFasTrans, we translate elements from language A, the source language, into language B, the target language. In this example, we're going to translate a category. So, let's get to work. This is the screen where we manage all translations. We want to translate a category, so we'll select Categories in this drop-down menu. Let's assume that we're going to translate the park site category into Spanish. To translate the park site category into our Spanish target language, we click on this icon to create a new item. Here we have the editing screen. On the left side of the screen, we have the translation source element. On the right side of the screen, we have the translated element, or a form to fill in if we are creating a new item. The parent category, Datos Ejemplo Artículos, is pre-selected because it is the Spanish translation of sample data articles. With KMFasTrans, you don't waste time looking for a translation, and you're guaranteed not to make a mistake. Clicking Copy All will copy all information from the source to the target language, except language-dependent values. So, what gets copied? Title, status, and access are copied. Description, publishing options, and basic options are copied. Metadata options and permissions get copied too. Now you can get a suggested translation from Google Translate, but be forewarned, you can't always trust Google Translate to be entirely accurate. If you want to save the changes and continue with the next language, in this case French, click Save and Next. If you want to save the changes and continue with the current language, in this case Spanish, click Save. If you want to save the changes and return to the dashboard, click Save and Close. A new set of translations has been created that contain the category Park Site in English and the newly created category Sitio de Parques in Spanish. Click on the number of the set to see its details. Continue translating categories into language B. When translating an article to language B, all language-dependent article parameters are pre-selected with their translations into language B. No need to know what the translations are or waste time selecting them. Suppose we want to translate the Australian Parks article into Spanish. First, we'll select the article in English. Like categories, to translate the article into Spanish, we have to click on the icon to create a new item in the Spanish language column. The Spanish translated category is already pre-selected. Now we'll copy fields from source to target. Google Translate will suggest a translation of the title and translate the text. And we're done. A new set of translations, number 174, have been created. The set contains the Parksite English Language Source article, ID number 6, and the newly created Sitio de Parques Spanish language article, ID number 139. We translate the rest of the articles into language B in the same way. Unlike the user's experience with native Joomla tools, when you translate a menu item with KMFasTrans, you don't need to already know or select any of the parameters translations because KMFasTrans already knows them and automatically pre-selects them. So, let's see how this works. Let's suppose we want to translate the Parks Home menu item into Spanish. First, we select the source menu item in English. Like articles, to translate the menu item, we click on the icon to create a new item in the Spanish language column. Note that there are already a set of translations containing menu items in English and French. The menu item type is the same as the source element. The menu location Parques de Australia is the Spanish language translation of the menu location Australian Parks from the source element. The parent item for this menu item is also pre-selected to the Spanish language translation of the parent item of the source element. We copy fields from source to target. And we'll get a suggestion from Google Translate to translate the title. The article shown by the menu item is pre-selected to Parques de Australia, the Spanish translation of Australian Parks, the article's source element. Menu item associations are automatically preset to the translation values of this menu item to existing content languages. You don't have to spend time manually selecting them, which means you can't make a mistake. In this example, there are only English and French translations of the Spanish menu item, and these are the ones that have been selected. Done. The existing set of translations, number 175, have been updated to include the newly created Spanish menu item Casa de Parques, ID number 1992. The set now contains 3 menu items, one in English, one in Spanish, and one in French. And you translate the rest of the menu items into language B in the very same way. Unlike what happens when you use native Joomla tools, when translating a module with KMFasTrans, you neither need to know nor select any of the parameters translations because KMFasTrans already knows them and automatically pre-selects them. So let's try this again. Let's assume we want to translate the Articles category module into Spanish. First, we select the source module in English. Just like menu items, to create the Spanish translation of the module, we click on the icon to create a new item in the Spanish language column. Note that there is no set of translations containing the source module in English yet. We copy fields from source to target, and we get the customary Google Translate suggestion to translate the title. These are the categories that will show the module Articles category in the English language. And these are the Spanish translations automatically selected by KMFasTrans. These are the categories that will show the module Artículos Categoría in Spanish. These are the pages where this module will be shown. And these are the translations of those pages into Spanish, which were automatically selected by KMFasTrans. And that's it. A new set of translations, number 180, has been created. The set contains the English source module titled Articles Category, ID number 69, and the newly created module in Spanish titled Artículos Categoría, ID number 249. We translate the rest of the modules into language B in the same way. You create remaining elements like contacts and banners in the exact same way. KMFasTrans offers more than speed and reliable translations. KMFasTrans also offers the added ability to control and manage translations using sets of translations. Sets of translations associating categories, articles, menus, menu items, and so on for each element. In summary, by using KMFasTrans to build your website, you will create a multilingual site in record time, have your translations under control, have no untranslated elements, and feel confident that you have built your multilingual website with the right structure.